Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, and thanks for coming here for the last session of the day. So I appreciate your effort to be here with us. Here you have a Q&A via Slido, so in case you have questions after the presentation, please scan this QR code with the phone and digit your question. I have a tablet here, so I will read at the end of the presentation your questions, and then I'll try and I will be able to answer you. Today we will talk about our Sacmi project called PURECAP, which is a food-grade rHDPE, so high-density polyethylene for beverage cap. I have to make a context before. As a company, Sacmi, we are a manufacturer of machines for producing caps and preform. One of the division of the company is producing machines for caps and preforms in beverage. So we are in caps in particular, the global leader. A roughly indication is that half of the flat top beverage cap, the one for water or carbonated drinks worldwide, are made by our technology. We are a provider not only of machines and molds, but also of designs and with our lab and all the technologists working in the lab, providing the matching with the protocols of the brand owners. So basically we provide solutions. With the sustainability effort and the future use of recycled material also in cap and not only in PET bottles, we thought to provide with our partners and clients an additional value, providing them also materials and the receipt to match the protocols and also the properties by Commission and EFSA in terms of food grade. So this is the context. We are talking about material. We became a recycler, producing material to provide to our clients using our technology for beverage caps. I will go very quickly on the context. The use of, this is data from Ellen MacArthur Foundation, this specifically one. So global plastic packaging production in 2050 will be 4 times. But on that quantity of plastic, only in this very moment, 2% comes in a closed loop. A lot of the plastic globally goes to leakage, part of landfill, part of incineration, part is recycling, but in a circular loop, only 2%, and we are working on that 2%. This is a McKinsey source, so by 2050, again, plastic is increasing a lot, the usage of plastic, but if you see the blue line, virgin feedstock, more or less it will be predicted to be stable. So most of the increase of the quantity in tons of packaging to be used in the next years will be from mechanical recycling, chemical recycling, and other sources. One of the reasons behind the project we are talking about today is the PPWR, so Packaging and Packaging Waste Regulations, which will come into force 2030, and amongst many of the articles of this regulation, the one which affects our project is the recycled content. There is a minimum percentage of recycled content post-consumer in packaging units, and then we have to divide which packaging units we are talking about. We are in SUP drink bottles, so 30% 2030 and 65% 2040. There is a single-use plastic already in place since 2025, which for SUP drink bottles state 25%, but as a bottle overall is not specifying whether it is the bottle or the cap. And here we are more in deep, Article 7, which is the minimum recycled content in plastic packaging. So any plastic part of packaging in the market shall contain a minimum percentage of recycled content from post-consumer plastic waste, and is 10% for contact sensitive, so food grade, packaging made from plastic materials other than PET. So in this case, it is the cap, which is polypropylene or HD, so high density polyethylene PE. So this is the target we are aiming for. 2030, it depends what the delegate acts in the next year will came through. But at this very moment, we see that from 2030, 10% of post-consumer recycling plastic must be included in the cap for beverage bottles. Before the time, as an incentive to the brand owners and to the converters to use recycled content in plastic packaging, there is a plastic tax, which is in the EU in place already in UK and in Spain. In France, it's the other way. It's not a tax, but it's an incentive. In case you use recycled content of plastic, you have 0.4 or from 0.4 to 0.5 per kilogram of plastic as an incentive. We had an LCA study from an external consulting company, Merrier NutriScience, specifically on our project. So we compare the footprint in different, let's say, metrics of a virgin polymer for caps and our PURECAP mechanically recycled polymer from the moment it enters into the extruder to the moment it goes into the cap. And we see, for instance, the first one, climate change, so is CO2 emission, which is one of the metrics most taken into account when considering LCA. In this case, you see that with the PURECAP compared to virgin rHDPE, you save half of the CO2 emission. In terms of water and land use is even more. This is very important because brand owners and companies need to meet requirements ESG, and in that case, for them it's very important to lower the LCA footprint of the packaging they are using. What is the scope of a project? We, again, as said, are a producer of technology and supplier of solutions to produce caps and preforms to clients. We change a bit our business model. In this case, we develop a recycling process, including the sorting that we see later and the decontamination for an HDPE recycled, mechanically recycled for food contact from post-consumer recycling in order to match with the PPWR. And we want to produce and sell this polymer, recycled polymer, mainly to our clients producing caps with our technology for a specific design. How it works? I just said this, we integrate upstream our proposal, which is machine molds and cap design already matching the protocols of the brand owners, in our technology, which is a continuous compression molding machines. So it is, let's say, to make caps, you have either injection technology or compression technology. We are a player in the compression technology. And it's very important that our PURECAP polymer will be provided to the client in a specific recipe produced, engineered by our technological lab, which includes for a specific cap, for a specific application, water, carbonated drinks, or others, in a specific geographic region, the mix, how much you can use in percentage of the PURECAP, 10%, 30%, whatever it is, and the virgin, what needs to be the specific type of the virgin material you have to use in order to match not only the food grade properties, but also the technological requirement by the cap in terms of stress cracking, opening torque, and other performance that has to match. So this is basically what our project is. Input material is flakes coming from the PET recyclers. This is very important, the stream, because PET recycler is already 95% food approved, is a stream coming from 95% of food materials. So in that case, also, the material which is not PET but coming from the same stream it is 95% from this food contact stream, which is very important for the regulators. That has to be like this. We separate this secondary material, and we see in the next slide, by polymer, so HDPE from non-HDPE. We divide by color families. We extrude, decontaminate, deodorize it, and then we have the pellet. That pellet can go in a percentage, let's say from 30 to 50%, or even more in case of flat water, together with the virgin HDPE in the in the input of the extruder of our machines producing caps, mostly beverage caps. So the steps are flake supplier selection. So we have a partner in the project. In this case, for this first stage of the project, we selected Dentis, which is an Italian PET recycler, and we get from them the flakes, secondary material, which are basically floating from their sorting and process, washing process. We divide by material and by color families, and so basically you can see here in our plant in Imola, where we are based, with the sorting machines from 3U. 3U is a producer of such technology on which we partner on studying for this project, and we divide with the first machine HDPE from non-HDPE. Can be polypropylene, can be some how to say part of the labels or other materials. And also we take the black out of it, because with the black, with infrared, we cannot have, and with a hyperspectral, I think, type of checking materials, we don't have a feedback back. So with the black, we are not in the position to define which kind of material it is, so we have to sort it out. We take out also the small parts which cannot be taken out of the process, so I think less than 3 millimeters. And as you can see here, you have the white shade of colors, the reddish and the greenish. We do this in order to optimize from the mixed material we have in. Second part is from those flakes, which are only HDPE bicolor families. We extrude, filter, decontaminate in a melt phase. Then we pelletize, and then again we deodorize in a sort of a reactor in order to have food grade approved granules of such colors. And in this specific case, we are partnering with Starlinger Viscotech company, as they are also presented a demand for the novel technology in Visco Zero, and we are partnering with them for the decontamination phase. And what we gain is the pellet, as I mentioned before. This is where we are setting up the plant in our headquarters based, as I said, in Imola. And this is you see like our machines, a compression machine is working in line for making beverage caps. On average, such kind of machines makes 2,000 caps per minute. And directly into the machine, we can mix both the right percentage virgin recycled material and the master batch for the colors, in order to match the shade of the final brand owner and the users. Where we are in this project, we set up a quality control system and a CMSS, which is needed for regulation 1616. It's very important, the quality control on the procedures, as we are talking about food grade, but also on checking all the monitor each part of the process in order to have traceability, which is required by the Commission and then by EFSA, by the regulation 1616, before entering into the market. So to be able to, if anything happens, to trace back that batch of production where something happened. So we have CMSS, we have the quality control system in place and the traceability system, plus you need to have an analysis on the flakes, the granules, and also on the cap migration in order for each batch in this timing till you have the final approval for the novel technology. So for each batch, we make all these kind of measures, and then the material is ready to enter into the market. This is a draft of a technical data sheet where is basically all the information on that particular batch of production is provided to the client. Together with this, when the material exit our gates, we provide also a declaration of conformity. And then the material will be able to be used in the market as food grade for, in this case, beverage caps. Test and analysis, these are quite technical on our world, but basically in terms of food contact, in case you have a cap made by 100% with the PURECAP material, it is safe, according to the regulation 10/2011, to be used for a bottle or a container where the quantity of liquid is, in this case, less than 54 ml. This is the first batch we have analyzed. This can vary according also to the flakes you get, according to the type of the year. Like in winter, maybe you have more colored flakes. In summer, you have more whitish flakes because you drink more water. And with the difference of colorants, you can have a small variation in the quantity. But as you see, it's really below because mostly is used to bottle from 300 ml, 500 ml, 1 liter. And at 100%, you have this data minimum. So it's quite safe. And also, if you use a 10% or 30%, again, you have a different scale of safety. Stress cracking in our world of beverage cap is very important. So you need to perform with that specific cap not only the EFSA or the Commission regulation in terms of food contact, but also the cap has to perform like the final client of our client want it to be in terms of stress cracking, opening torque, leakage, and whatever it is. So we tested on water and carbonated drinks according to the SETIE and ESBT methods, and we are in compliance with 100% in case of flat water, and at least with 35% maximum in case of carbonated drinks, because the performance for carbonated drinks are a bit more tricky to be matched, and in that case you need more quantity of virgin resin, which is needed for that kind of cap. Finally, this is very important, dimension stability, because you might have a shrinkage, so in terms of the cap to perform and to work on the bottle, you need to be safe also on this. And there is no issue, because in any case, is caps coming from injection or compression molding, also the input material, so you don't have blow molding or coming from other stream. In other words, you can say cap to cap. So you get cap from PET bottles, you grind, you decontaminate, you make pellet, and you make other caps. So no changing in molds, in part of the molds, because of shrinkage and dimension stability. Where we are, finally, we are working since few years on this project. It's still a long journey. It will be a long journey. But we are in the position now to have the first tons to be available in the market since next week. So we just received for the first complete batch made under all the monitoring system, the results from our external lab, which is in our case ECOL. Third lab certified to make the analysis to be, in order for us to be compliant and safe. So from next month, we will have, from May, sorry, for this month, we will have the first material, which we have already an agreement with one of our clients in Italy to be provided to another bottle in Italy to have in June for an event we will make in our headquarters, the first ever bottles in Europe with caps with mechanically recycled HDPE content. 30 tons per month is not much, but again, is not at scale. as long as we will have the complete production line in our headquarters, so to be able to get at full production, our plan is to reach around 6,000 tons per year from end of 2027, more or less. This is the first material 2026 we have. In 2026, sorry, we have in May, white, and is what I was telling you about, that from next week can exit from our gates finally for food grades to our clients for a cap producer. So for this moment is the end of my presentation. You have a link on the landing page of our project where you can download the technical chart, draft technical chart of the different materials, and have an overlook and view on how our system and project is working. Thanks for your attention. And I'm ready to answer your question in case you have some. Reload, sorry, I cannot get. I just crashed. We can.
One, two.
No.
We could go old school and do a handheld if it's not going to work, if you want.
So raise your hands in case, if you have a question.
Does anyone wish to ask a question? Raise your hand if so.
Yeah, I actually had one of the same questions that's on here, whether your recycled HDPE and the recycling process is fully approved by the EFSA, or that you're still going through the approval process? Like, is it fully done?
Okay, thanks for the question. We are together with Viscotech and Starling partnering. They made an application for the novel technology for the decontamination of plastic materials, different ones. In case of HDPE, we are one of their partners. We have to provide, if I remember well how it works, the system, we have to publish into the Commission, let's say, internal website every 6 months the monitoring data of what we put into the market. To be able to have, this is for the regulation 1616 for the approval of a decontamination technology. So we are, in this very moment, temporarily approved because we have to make a complete analysis on screening of flakes input in the process, granules out of the process, cap, migration test. If this match with the 10-2011, we can be in the market with that specific batch and publish the data. So we can be in the market temporarily for at least, I think the minimum is 2 years. So for 2 years, we have to publish every 6 months data. Then the Commission can decide if they need more data or if they feel safe, with all the data we have published, and then they can make a final approval on the technology with underlining maybe some points. For this material is that %, for that product is whatever it is. So they can state. But in this moment, we are in the market because there is a novel technology, and we are safe because we monitor every batch. So it's a long journey. But if you don't start, you never get to the end. So, okay, sorry. The LCA analysis shown, does it include 100% resin or is it within 30%, 65%? No, the LCA analysis is referred only to the granules. So how much is the life cycle assessment in the production of a virgin granules compared to a PURECAP recycled granules, where you get the material from that recycler in northern Italy. So you, in this case, you consider also the CO2 by the truck bringing the flakes to your factory. Then all the emissions from the process in decontaminating the parts, and also the what you have in terms of electricity, water, and electric consumption, and so on. So it's not related, the LCA, on the caps. So a cap made by Virgin and a cap made by 30%, this is the LCA. It's something we might do afterwards, but so far the LCA study has been only on the granules. So what is the emissions in producing virgin granules, and the emission in producing with our project a mechanically recycled food grade granules. Other question, do you supply such food grade approved granules for other processes, for example, extrusion or compression molding, but not for beverage caps? First target is to provide our clients, because this is the added value we want to bring them. We are open also, and we are in discussion also for other type of beverage caps in a different shape, sport cap, not made by our technology, but by other clients as well, our clients. I believe it is not, how to say, matching the requirement for extrusion, because, and we made some tests, because we also have machines for injection, well, compression, blow molding containers for pharma, for instance. And the source we have is injection or compression molding process. So we have that kind of MFI and technology characteristics which are not matching for the materials needed for extrusion. So basically, they don't match in terms of mechanical characteristics. So for extrusion, no. For injection molding for other beverage caps, priority is to be compression for our beverage caps, but can be also others. Do you supply such granules to other converters who are not using Sacmi technology? I answered. Priority is for our customers, but not only. It is also process-able with your multi-layer machine. We didn't test yet. It might be in case of the layer of rHDPE. In this case, coffee capsules, or we have also some I think 38 millimeter cap in China, no multi-layer. And we didn't test yet, but we do not see. Confirm me because I have the technology consultant from the lab. I don't see any difficulties in that. Okay, so it might be. Do you have some ideas about price compared to virgin material? That's a good question. It depends. Let's put it this way. Our aim is, you have to balance what the market is able to pay compared, we need to produce materials because we need to publish data and we need to have the final approval. So in case you are by regulation obliged to use that, and then also you have to match with we don't have competitors because there is no mechanical food grade recycled rHDPE. So let's say our target is to make our clients in the position to, with the price of our PURECAP, to match the price with virgin plus the plastic tax or the incentive. In other words, you pay virgin X plus the tax because you use virgin goes to a price, and this is more or less the target we are reaching with our material. Less than €2 per kilo, to be more concrete. Final? Okay. Time is gone. Sorry. I think, but there are no other questions. Thank you.